Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Rama 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 Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki Jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar Ashram. It's with deep gratitude that we have offered the Nama Sankirtanam, the Nama flowers, at the lotus feet of Bhagwan. And before we offer our prayers at his feet, we shall see a very curious incident which I have been asking for. In fact, some time back, the thought kept coming to me that we have been singing for so long, and everything seemed to work. Everything seemed that the corona had cleared out completely. Normalcy was returning. And all of a sudden, they said the second wave started. Now it is worse than ever. What is the big idea? I kept asking Bhagwan, our Nama Sankirtan, all the time praying, thinking that every Nama that we sing should go to some patient to help them, to ease up their pain, to contribute to their cure. But why things seem to be going to the worse? And suddenly, one day, just a few days back, I rang up to Shri Kumaravel of Shivkasi, who is running Bhajanashram there, who is the son of Srimati Tilakavati Rajashekar, asking for some deep episode. He said, okay Ma, I will just see, I will ask and let you know. And suddenly he said, I have something to relate. You please see that if you think it could be related, please say it. And then he said, his daughter Bhavatharani was married into a family from Chennai, I think originally from Tuticorin. Bhavatharani, the granddaughter of Srimati Tilakavati Rajashekar, is very devoted to Bhagwan, very spiritually sensitive. One could say that she has even developed some extra-sensory perception, which doesn't ordinarily happen except without effort. One day, the whole family Dr. Rajashekhar's family, all the three sisters, Tilakavati, Uma Surendran, Sharada, all the three families, entire families, together they had come to the ashram for the silver chariot procession. Now when the procession was going on, people were dragging the chariot. We saw Bhavatharani with a strange expression on her face. She was ecstatic, and then after the procession was over, she came and said that she saw Swami, the Utsava Murti, was being taken in the chariot, and we usually go around the ashram. It's called the Ashram Girivalam path. The silver chariot was being taken around. Bhavatharani said she saw Bhagwan with his dhoti and the green turban in his usual attire was sitting there instead of the Utsava Murti. And what was more, he came down and began to walk with us. He even danced. When every other person could not see anything happening, we were all absorbed in singing the name. Here was this little girl, a teenager, who could see Bhagwan seated in real, coming down and dancing. Such is the state of her mind, her sensitivity. She has been chanting Bhagwan's name all the time, or whenever she could, with depth and devotion. Her husband, Saravanaraja, he belongs to the family which does not know much about Bhagwan. They hardly heard about him. They had no idea the state of being of Bhagwan. And one day recently, that is 2 weeks back, Shri Saravanaraja fell sick with COVID. He had some suffering. He was taken to a private hospital in Tuticorin, got treated, and he returned home. So everybody thought he was cured, but then again the trouble started. He began to have fever and other complications. When it became serious, he had to be rushed to the local GH, Tuticorin. And there he got a room at all. It was pure grace. But since he was not so closely connected with our Bhagwan Yogi Ramsuratkumar, he did not connect this also with him. He just took it for granted. But all the same, after he got admitted, he saw what was happening around. How the doctors and nurses labored hard, and how the treatment was being given to very people there, and how so many people got discharged at the same time. Some of those people also died, and their bodies were packed in plastic bags and removed. Suddenly it struck him that everything seemed to be easy for him, that he got the room, the proper treatment. Everything seemed easy when it was getting more and more difficult around. Though of course he did not connect it with any special grace. But all of a sudden, one day, he began to hear Yogi Ramsuratkumar Nama Sankirtan. He could not believe it. He looked around to see if anybody, any particular group had come to the general hospital. Was probably making an attempt to ease up the situation there by praying and singing the Nama. But that was not so. Then he rang up to his wife and said, "Look, Yogi Ramsuratkumar Nama Sankirtan is going on. I'm able to hear it, sometimes close to the ears. What is happening? Is it possible that some groups are coming to the hospital and they are singing? It's coming through the window." And then when she said no, then he asked her, "You have always been singing this name. Probably you have put some record or something somewhere here in the room, or you have sent something?" She said no, smiling, because she knew what was happening. She understood that Bhagwan was playing a leela with him. And then Shri Saravanaraja began to hear this Nama Sankirtan all the time. You see, he was not used to singing the name. He was not used to the name at all, except that Bhavatharani probably was singing at home. He never connected with Swami. This was a strange thing to happen to him. He couldn't understand, and when he closed his eyes thinking that he would go to sleep, again the Nama Sankirtan kept coming to his ears. Again he rang up to his wife and said, "Look, even when I close my eyes, I want to sleep, but I hear only this Nama Sankirtan. How fortunate is our Saravanaraja." Then, by the time Shri Kumaravel, because after Saravanaraja was rushed to the hospital, and because she was with him and she had to be quarantined, so Kumaravel went, her father went and brought Bhavatharani to his place in Shivakasi. So that is why the phoning up. Now this time, Bhavatharani and Kumaravel said, they are coming from Tiruvannamalai. They are singing, they are doing this Nama Sankirtan, and it must be coming only from there. Of course, Shri Saravanaraja could not believe it, that the Nama Sankirtan could travel all the way from Tiruvannamalai, right up to Tuticorin, unto the general hospital, and through the window to his ears. He said, "Okay, I will find out. There must be some suitable application, some technology, which I can use and find out from which direction it's coming." Now, there could be no better answer to my question that I was asking Bhagwan than this. How could one prove physically the efficacy of the Nama Sankirtan? It's just not possible. So I was asking Bhagwan, what is happening? Our Nama Sankirtan, does it reach people? You have said that not a single Nama goes waste. And we have been singing for so long, more than a year now. Where do they go? Do they reach the right people and help? And that was when I rang up to Kumaravel to ask for some good leelas. Leelas that carry a teaching lesson. And that is when Shri Kumaravel narrated the story. Now, Saravanaraja became all right, he was discharged soon, and now 2 weeks of quarantine is going to be over. He returned home just 2 days after that and is now in quarantine, and he will soon return to his work. Just think that some question comes to my mind spontaneously, and the answer comes to me spontaneously. Who is arranging all this? The one who knew my question and the one who knew, who did the demonstration, who knew how it reaches people, he passed it on to me. It is the same one, the one who is residing in all our hearts. I was saying 2 days back how Bhagwan, as pure awareness, is seated, as Paramatma is seated in the heart center, the lotus of our heart. And this Paramatma, though he is only a witness consciousness, pure awareness, is aware of nothing else except himself. When you call out his name, he wakes up to the calling. He begins to act as Ishvara, arranging things and details and situations and people suitably, intelligently. This is what we have been seeing day after day after day in our satsangs, how Bhagwan's grace rescues people in different situations, in different ways. Now, I was ecstatic when I heard the story from Shri Kumaravel. It could only be Bhavatharani, who is very sensitive spiritually, very deeply devoted to Bhagwan. Her prayers, her singing invoked the grace that was needed for Shri Saravanaraja, that got him a room and proper treatment and cured him, and above all, this strange, sensational hearing of the Nama Sankirtan. This is what I thought first, that it was probably Bhavatharani singing had registered in his mind and it came up. But Shri Saravanaraja was insistent. He said it was singing of Yogi Ramsuratkumar Nama by several people. So Shri Kumaravel said, even while talking to Shri Saravanaraja, he and his daughter Bhavatharani said, it must be coming from Tiruvannamalai. Now this spontaneous answer from Shri Kumaravel and his daughter Bhavatharani made me ecstatic, because this was the reply from Bhagwan that I was waiting for. What a demonstration. What could be more proof than this? The physical proof that our Nama Sankirtan is working, it's reaching out. The distressed, even the people who are not aware of the greatness of Bhagwan, people who have not been connected with him, which means it's reaching out to all. So let us take heart and be assured that every single nama that we utter for the sake of the COVID patients is surely reaching out to them, doing all that is needful. Bhagwan is arranging things all the time, though it does not come to the physical level. He does in the subtle levels, and things must be happening, relief must be happening everywhere at certain level, which may not come to our attention. This is very heartening to hear. So I thought we should all share this. It's an assurance, reassurance that Bhagwan's Nama is reaching out to people. Now that Bhagwan is here, right in front of us, with his raised hand in benediction, with a play of smile on his lips, and looking as if to say, don't you know, when you call out this beggar's name, how help is rushed to people? I have assured you again and again. Why do you doubt it? Of course, every Nama that you people are singing in this powerful shrine is doing its work. Rest assured. Now, Bhagwan, we have understood, and we bow deeply before you with deep gratitude, and we beg you a million times, a million times, for your immediate divine intervention to free the humanity in general, and the Indians in particular, who are going through the worst period. You have said India is your leela bhumi, that great masters are protecting India. We beg you, Bhagwan, we do not know why this situation has come at all. This must be part of the divine plan, otherwise it wouldn't have happened. It must be holding some huge blessing also for the entire world. Yet, in our ignorance, we are unable to understand what is happening. We beg you again and again to uproot the panic which is causing more havoc than the pandemic, and stop the rapid rise of the disease. Enter those medicines and make them work and kill all those viruses, the entire clan of it. And Bhagwan, all those great people, all those distressed people who are waiting outside the hospitals for a room, for proper treatment, for oxygen. Now that you have showed that our Namas are reaching out, we pray again that they should get their quota of treatment, get well soon and return home safe. And all those great people, the volunteers, the doctors, nurses, the paramedical staff, the sanitary workers, the police people, and the volunteers from the social volunteers who are helping in every way. Please give them all protection. They are doing it at the very risk of their lives, fighting this disease, fighting this poverty. And Bhagwan, we beg you for a boost to our economy also. There are many people who have lost their jobs. and the daily wages, they are the ones who go through the worst suffering. They've been hit so badly. What can we do except beg and chant your name, which we are doing? Please save all those people who are not able to build up their oxygen. Please help them, Bhagavan. Please cure them and bring them homes safely. And we beg you again, we want you to bless us with constant remembrance of your name. Please bless us with the attitude of being good instruments in your hands and go about our life. Above all, please give us that transformation, that purification, by which we could see only your presence and your blessings in every event of life. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.